Don't get mad, just hear me out. Somewhere along the way, being overwhelmed became a personality. And now we have scores of fully capable adults, sadly mostly women, saying, I just can't handle everything in my life. Now we call it emotional labor, cognitive work, mental load, invisible labor. There's all sorts of names. And I'm sitting here thinking, wait a minute. I'm old enough to know that women have handled way more than this for all of human history. We have it pretty good. So what has changed? This all seems to come from the idea that your brain has a very limited capacity. And if you go over that limit, and far too many people think they're over the limit, you basically shut down. Now, there's a little smidgen of truth here. But here's where it goes off the rails. We've taken a useful concept and turned it into an excuse. Here's the reality. People who function well in life do not have less to do. They've just built the capacity to handle more. That's it. Capacity isn't fixed. It grows with practice, experience, systems. And when someone says, I just have too much going on in my head, what I think is you haven't built a system for it yet. If your goal is to make life feel easy all the time, soft life, you're training yourself to be overwhelmed. Because adulthood is not really that easy most of the time. A number of years ago, the acquaintance of one of my adult children posted a very long tome on Facebook. She was so proud of herself, and she was sharing her great accomplishment with the world. She went on at some length about how proud she was for her adulting. This was not facetious. It wasn't sarcasm. She was 100% truly proud of herself. And when I got to the end and I found out what she did, I was a little surprised. Can you guess what her great adulting day was? She was very proud of herself because she had, with very little parental help, filled out her very own FAFSA form. Do you know what a FAFSA is? It's the free application for federal student aid. So she was super, super proud of herself because she had filled out the forms so she could get taxpayer money to pay for her education. Oh, what a proud parenting moment. Is that really what being an adult has become in our culture? So look, if everything feels like too much, at some point the issue isn't life. It's your tolerance for effort. We have been told, reduce stress, avoid overload, don't take on too much. Self-care, self-care, self-care. But that's not how capability is built. Capability comes from actually doing hard things, figuring things out, failing and adjusting, learning, growing. I'm 61, almost 62. And for decades now, I have regularly lifted weights. Right now, I lift about 3 times a week. Now, I don't gain capacity in lifting by doing this. Okay, now, if I'm just starting out, if I'm fragile, if I've had an injury or illness, this might actually be the way I start. But it certainly shouldn't be the way I finish, because this little tiny weight is not going to increase my capacity very much at all. You do not become capable by protecting your poor little brain or your body from effort. You become capable by using them. We have spent decades talking about strong women, independent women, empowered women. At the same time, we're telling women, you can't handle schedules and decisions and daily responsibilities. I'm a strong, capable, independent woman, and also I can't handle basic life logistics. We have created a version of empowerment that says, you're powerful, but you're super fragile. You're capable, but you're so overwhelmed by normal life. That is not empowerment. That's chaos with a dose of neuroticism. And before you get crazy at the word neurotic, Google it. There's lots of good information. It is a big 5 personality trait. Neuroticism is characterized by a chronic tendency to experience negative emotions. Anxiety, depression, irritability. Sound familiar? High neuroticism involves low emotional stability, increased sensitivity to stress, and a tendency to interpret regular, everyday, ordinary situations as threatening. It's linked to poorer mental health and higher stress reactivity. And holy cow, it feeds into stereotypes that women were supposedly distancing themselves from. And now we're embracing them. The real issue isn't that life is impossible, it's that many people have never built systems, never practiced prioritizing, never learned to tolerate discomfort. So everything feels threatening, everything feels triggering, everything feels like chaos, everything feels like too much. But it doesn't have to. Instead of saying, this is all too much, shift your mind and start to think, how do I get better at handling this regular life stuff? Just a few practical points. Prioritize activities and purge what has a low ROI in your life. That's individual. Write down things and get them out of your head. Build repeatable systems. I love systems. Stop expecting everything to feel easy. Your expectations have a lot to do with this. Practice handling more, not less. Crazy? Here's the truth. Life has always required effort. Probably a lot more than it does right now. The difference is we've started interpreting normal responsibility as overload. You're more capable than you've been told. Start acting like it. If there are particular points of overwhelm that you just cannot work through, leave them in the comments. Let's figure them out together. It's not rocket science. It's just life science. If you have actually watched to the end, thank you. Thank you for sticking with me. I'd love for you to subscribe and follow along, and I'd love to have a conversation about how we make life manageable.